Welcome you all to this session on fluid mechanics and machinery. So already in the previous videos we discussed about what the primary dimensions, what are the desired dimensions, etc. Okay, so this is actually regarding the course outcome 3. So we had actually discussion why we had this dimensional analysis, everything we discussed already. So we are going to continue with the discussion in this session. So actually we'll see the background. So there are many practical engineering problems involving fluid mechanics. It can be solved by equations analytic procedures. Okay, so but actually a large number of problems are relying on experiment data for the solutions. Very few problems involving the real fluids can be solved by analytical analysis. Okay, so solution is obtained through the use of a combination of analysis and experimental data. So to achieve this goal, and actually what is our goal is to make the results as widely applicable. It shouldn't be theoretical. It should be applicable to the real time example or real time applications. So to achieve this goal, the concept of similitude is often used, so that the measurement based on one system or laboratory can be used to describe the behavior of other systems which are outside laboratory, that is the whatever conditions that exist in the real time environment. So we can see this actually. So the laboratory systems, we do see whatever we do in the colleges or in knowledge research labs, we do have models. Okay, the purpose of this was used to study the phenomenon of interest under carefully controlled conditions. From these model studies, empirical formulations can be developed or specific predictions can be made. Okay, and from this we can learn the behavior of another similar system also. We can learn the characteristics of another similar system. In order to do this, there should be a relation should be made between the laboratory model and the other system. In this present topic, we are going to learn how to achieve this in a systematic manner. If it is systematic only, it is applicable. Okay, otherwise there may be faults and errors. So that we are going to see in this discussion. You can see that there's a certain contraction in types. Okay, so the wind turbine. So dimensional analysis is used to predict the physical parameters that will significantly influence the phenomenon under study. Okay, so this is actually sudden contraction pipes. This is actually we are doing this wind turbines and the dam, how the fluid flows over the dam, or these are the some practical applications what we can study here. So this actually we can make it by having in some experiments in the model lab. Okay, so that is similitude and model analysis to investigate the complexity of the phenomenon details. So every phenomenon will have different parameters, so we have to find out how complex the particular system is, and that we have to apply this knowledge that has been what we have gotten for the prototype, and this we got this what we made in the model and go and do it in the application side, that we are going to see in this section. So what are the types of similitudes actually? So similitude is defined as a similarity between the model and the prototype in every respect. So which mean model and prototype will have the similar properties, and model and prototype are completely similar. So we have 3 types of similarities. They are the geometric similarity, kinematic similarity, and dynamic similarity. Dynamic similarity, okay. So first one is geometric similarity. Okay, so that is actually it is a similarity of shape, how it is a particular shape, how they are same. So it is said to exist between the model and the prototype if the ratio of all the corresponding linear dimensions in the model and the prototype is equal. See, for example, that length cannot be equal because this will be very small, but the length ratio between the length and diameter, like this, it should be equal. So you can see that the LP, BP and DP are length, breadth and diameter of prototype. Okay, the ratios, if they are equal, that is a scalar ratio, if it is equal, then we can easily compare them. Okay, so models are generally prepared with same scale ratios in every direction. Okay, those models we call it as true models. Sometimes it is not possible to do so, we cannot do it in practical, we are not able to do, means we use convenient scales in different directions. So such models we call it as distorted model. So next one is kinematic similarity. So what is actually the similarity? Is a similarity of motion. Okay, it is said to exist between the model and the prototype if the ratio of the velocities and accelerations at the corresponding points in the model or equal. Okay, if the ratios between the velocity and acceleration are equal, then it is kinematic similarity. We can see that Vp1 and Vp2 and Ap1, Ap2, this is velocity ratios, we can say it as. And how it is Vp1, that is the ratios between the velocities and the accelerations are equal. Or this velocity ratio and acceleration ratio are being considered. You can see that actually both velocity and accelerations are vector quantities. So not only the ratio of magnitude and acceleration, okay, but the direction is also very much essential. We have to take that into consideration since the velocity and accelerations are vector quantities. Okay. And the velocity of direction of velocity and acceleration, the corresponding points in the model and prototype should also be parallel. Next one is dynamic similarity. What is it actually? It's a similarity of forces. It is said to exist between the model and prototype with the ratio of forces at the corresponding points in the model and the prototype are equal. Okay. See, we can take it as F1P, FVP and FGP are inertia, viscous and gravitational forces in the prototypes. Okay. So actually F is the force ratio. The direction of forces of the model and the prototype should be taken care, and they should be parallel. And types of forces which are encountered in the fluid phenomena will be discussed now. The first one will be actually the inertia force. So it will be equal to the product of mass and acceleration in the flowing fluid. The viscous flow force is actually the equal of the product of the shear stress due to viscosity and also the surface area. So gravity we know very well. So it will be equal to the product of the mass and acceleration due to gravity. So what is pressure force? Actually it is equal to the product of the pressure intensity and cross-sectional area of the flowing fluid. Next one is surface tension force. So it will be equal to the product of the surface tension and the length of the surface of the flowing fluid. Okay. So next one is actually the elastic force. You can see that it is equal to the product of the elastic stress and area of flowing fluid. Thanks for your listening, and we shall be continuing with the next class. Okay, so we'll be doing certain problems, we'll be working out some practical applications in this concept. Thank you all once again.